Well, there's been an escalation of violence in northern Ethiopia. An airstrike in the capital of the Tigray region has killed at least 4 people. A spokesman for the rebel group Tigray People's Liberation Front said a residential area and kindergarten were hit, but those reports have not yet been confirmed. Both sides are blaming each other for breaking the 4-month-old ceasefire. And for more on this, we're joined by William Davison. He's a senior analyst for Ethiopia at Crisis Group, and he joins us from Cambridge. Thanks so much for being with us. You know, as we learn more about this and piece together exactly what happened, can you give us a sense of the larger picture here? Do you fear that this escalation of violence will continue, or do you think there could actually be a diplomatic solution?
There's certainly a worryingly high chance that this escalates into a return to full-scale war. The bombing today is obviously, another worrying indicator that comes after 2 days of fighting, serious fighting, although limited to one area. And I think what is most concerning here is that this is a very clear demonstration that the peace process that was supposed to get underway has really failed to get off the ground, and that's led to increased tensions and an end to a significant lull in hostilities that we've seen throughout this year, but a period when, despite there being no fighting, nothing was really done to resolve the political disagreements.
What would it take to get the peace process back on track, do you think?
I mean, essentially, you need a shift in attitude from the two parties on the back of concerted efforts by mediators, external actors such as the African Union, perhaps Kenya's government, the United States. At the moment, the parties, the federal government, Tigray's leadership, they've disagreed over who should mediate the talks. Tigray's government insists that basic services must be restored to Tigray before any talks can occur. And it's these types of positions that prevented any formal talks from taking place and ultimately have led us back to conflict.
What about the international community? What about the international response to this crisis? What can be done on that front?
I think what needs to be done is for a reiteration of positions that there is no sustainable path to stability through conflict, that no matter how difficult negotiations will be to reach a consensus, that is the best way forward. That will allow a sustained improvement in a devastatingly bad humanitarian situation. So I think it's a more forceful and urgent delivery of the same message that's needed from the international actors here.
You're mentioning there the humanitarian situation. You know, the ceasefire allowed aid to reach Tigray, where more than 90% of people there need food aid. What does this continued violence mean for those folks? Give us a sense of just how dire the humanitarian situation is.
Well, the increase in food aid that's occurred this year has not been accompanied by, for example, sufficient fuel deliveries to distribute that aid around the region. We also don't have banking services inside Tigray, and this is a region that's been devastated by conflict already, interruption to agricultural systems, also education and health. So you have a population in a very vulnerable condition, also major problems elsewhere, conflict affected areas and elsewhere in Ethiopia. But with the resumption of conflict, we're likely to see probably no fuel delivered to the region and a reduction in the increase of food aid, as well as reduced chance of the federal government restoring these vital services such as banking. So it is likely to exacerbate an already devastating and very worrying situation for millions of people inside Tigray.
Okay, a somber note to end on there. William Davison, senior analyst for Ethiopia at Crisis Group, joining us from Cambridge. Thanks so much for your insight tonight.
Thank you.